12 p.m. on the record. We're on the record.
Madeline, can you read back the last question I asked, please?
Okay, the last question. Did you ever have a sexual relationship with Mandy? Or, I believe the other sister's name is Lisa, you said?
Nina.
Nina Adams?
The answer is no.
Okay. Did you ever touch Nina Adams in a sexually inappropriate way?
No.
Did you ever touch Mandy Adams in a sexually inappropriate way?
No.
Are you aware that Wendy was told by Mandy that you sexually assaulted her when she was a child?
Object to the form of the question.
I don't know. I had never heard that.
Do you know who Maria Tramato is?
No.
It's Maria Tramato Horowitz. It was Mandy's daughter. You ever know of her?
No.
Do you know what happened to Mandy Adams?
Can you be more specific?
Do you know if Mandy Adams is still alive?
She's not.
Do you know how she died?
I don't.
Madeline, would you get the witness exhibit 18, please? That's a book cover called Blessed Life Ever, written by Josh Horowitz and Maria Tramato Horowitz. Maria Tramato was Mandy Adams' daughter. If you turn the page to page 267 there that I underlined,
Okay.
you see that?
Yep.
So this girl claims that her mother endured the experience of being sexually assaulted by the neighbor's son.
Does it specify which neighbor?
It does not. So you're saying that if she's intimating that she's wrong.
Correct.
Okay.
Well, it also doesn't specify which neighbor they're talking about.
Well, I agree, counsel. Madeline, will you give the witness exhibit 19, please? You recognize that?
On the advice of counsel, I'm exercising my right to remain silent under the Fifth Amendment to the U.S. Constitution, and based upon counsel's advice, I respectfully decline to answer that question.
Did you ever learn that your father wanted Wendy's children to sign a non-disclosure agreement about your sexual abuse of Wendy?
On the advice of counsel, I'm exercising my right to remain silent under the Fifth Amendment to the U.S. Constitution, and based upon counsel's advice, I respectfully decline to answer that question.
I object to the form of the question as well.
Exhibit 21, please, Madeline.
21, you said?
21, yeah.
21.
That's a text message from Wendy's daughter to your daughter. Did you ever see that?
Hold on. Can you actually read that?
No, I can't read that.
I can't read mine either. We're not commenting on something we can't read.
Can't read it?
Cannot read it.
Okay. Do you recall, and I don't have a date on this, do you recall Jordan sending Emily a text telling your daughter that her mother, Wendy, was sexually abused and raped by your father when he was 17 and she was 10?
On the advice of counsel, I'm exercising my right to remain silent under the Fifth Amendment to the U.S. Constitution, and based upon counsel's advice, I respectfully decline to answer that question.
Did you ever learn of a meeting that took place at Wendy's house on June 25th, 2016, which meeting was attended by Wendy, her husband Josh, her two daughters Abigail and Jordan, her therapist Liz Lerner, your mother, your father, and Diane Ecclestone? Were you ever made aware of that meeting?
I'm going to object to the form. It's very clear that this, the evidence of this meeting is not admissible in your prior case, and it would likewise not be admissible in this case. So object to the form.
So I don't know where you got that, but the existence of the meeting can be in evidence, and participants of the meeting can talk about what happened, but I didn't reference anything that's not admissible. So anyway, my question simply is, were you made aware of a meeting that took place on June 25th, 2016 with the folks that I just mentioned being present?
Can I get a clarification? You're not suggesting that he was at that meeting, correct?
No. In fact, let me tell you the people one more time. People at the meeting were Wendy Mendelson, Joshua Mendelson, Abigail and Jordan Mendelson, Elizabeth Lerner, Sally Grieve, your mom, Edwin Ecclestone Jr., your father, and his wife Diana.
So all you're asking is whether he was aware that a meeting occurred with those people?
Yes. Were you ever made aware that a meeting took place on June 25, 2016 at Wendy's home involving those people?
I'm not sure of the date. So
But you were aware that such a meeting took place, you just don't know the exact date?
Exactly, yes.
Oh, okay. And who made you aware of that meeting?
I don't know. I don't.
Do you know what the topic of the conversation was at that meeting?
Object to the form.
Don't answer that question. You weren't there. I'm instructing my client not to answer that question. He has no
Okay.
basis and no competence to answer. He wasn't there by your own admission.
Did anyone ever tell you what occurred at that meeting?
Object to the form.
No.
Okay. Madeline, if you could give the witness Exhibit 22, please. All right. These are notes that were produced to me that purport to be a meeting of you and your father on June 27, 2016, 2 days after the meeting at Wendy's house that I just discussed. Do you recall, and you can take a look at the contents of these notes. They're handwritten, so it may take you a little while to decipher them. Have you seen these before?
Object to the form.
Object to the form of the question. You're asking if he's seen the document itself?
Yes.
Okay. If you've seen it before, you can say so.
I've seen it before.
Okay. Do you recall being at that meeting on June 27, 2016?
Yeah, in the advice of counsel, I'm exercising my right to remain silent under the Fifth Amendment to the U.S. Constitution, and based upon counsel's advice, I respectfully decline to answer that question.
The conduct that is described in Exhibit 22, did you engage in that conduct with Wendy?
On the advice of counsel, I'm exercising my right to remain silent under the Fifth Amendment to the U.S. Constitution, and based upon counsel's advice, I respectfully decline to answer that question.
Have you ever heard of the term sexual grooming as it relates to childhood sexual abuse?
Object to the form of the question. If you're going to use a term of art, please define it.
Well, my question simply is, has he ever heard of that term?
If you've heard of the term.
I'm not familiar with the term.
Okay. Before you went to college and you were living with your parents, did you ever bring pornography into your home?
On the advice of counsel, I'm exercising my right to remain silent under the Fifth Amendment to the U.S. Constitution, and based upon counsel's advice, I respectfully decline to answer that question.
Before you went to college and when you lived at home with your parents, did your father have pornography that was accessible to you when you were
On the
before you
advice,
went to college?
on the advice of counsel, I'm exercising my right to remain silent under the Fifth Amendment to the U.S. Constitution, and based upon counsel's advice, I respectfully decline to answer that question.
Did your father subscribe to Penthouse magazine when you lived at home?
On the advice of counsel, I'm exercising my right to remain silent under the Fifth Amendment to the U.S. Constitution, and based upon counsel's advice, I respectfully decline to answer that question.
Before you went to college and you were living at home, did your father subscribe to Playboy magazine?
On the advice of counsel, I'm exercising my right to remain silent under the Fifth Amendment to the U.S. Constitution, and based upon counsel's advice, I respectfully decline to answer that question.
Do you believe that children of a victim of childhood sexual abuse can be affected by their parents' trauma?
Object to the form of the question. My client is not an expert on mental health, has never studied this, is incompetent to render an opinion based on such scientific testimony.
Do you have an opinion on that, sir?
Me, I don't know anything about the topic, so I don't have enough information to answer your question. Enough knowledge.
You almost done, Mr. Coleman?
About.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm just reading through some stuff here. Sorry to take up your time. But I'm sure you're happier that I don't ask questions than I ask them. Huh? All right, if we can go off the record for 5 minutes, I think I can wrap up here pretty quick, all right?
Sounds good.
All right, be back in 5, thanks.
12:20 p.m. off the record. 12:32 p.m. on the record.
Have you ever sought treatment from a psychologist or psychiatrist for any reason?
Object to the form.
No?
You've never seen a psychologist to discuss why you sexually abused your sister when you were younger?
Objection asked and answered. I'm instructing you not to answer that question. You've already gotten the answer.
I didn't answer that question.
You asked whether he's ever seen a psychologist.
That is correct.
And then your follow-up was, have you seen a psychologist for a more specific reason, right?
Well, I take it the answer to that then, of course, is there. Let's make it broader. Have you ever seen any mental health professional to discuss your sexual abuse of Wendy?
Objection
Object-
assumes facts, not an evidence.
Thank you.
On the advice of counsel, I'm exercising my right to remain silent under the Fifth Amendment to the U.S. Constitution and based upon counsel's advice. I respectfully decline to answer that question.
Okay, I don't have any other question. Thank you, everybody, for their time today. Anybody have any questions of him?
No.
No?
Nope.
Okay, would you
Okay.
like to read or
Yes,
read
he'll
today?
read. He'll
Yeah.
read.
Read, I'm assuming through your office.
Yes, please.
Yes.
And Mr. Coleman, would you like to order
Yes, please.
electronic, regular? delivery?
Electronic is fine. If you can sync the video and the, and the transcript, that'd be great.
Okay, so you'd like to order the video synced?
Yes,
Hold on.
please.
Okay.
I just want to be clear, are you syncing the video feed of council to that? Do you understand what I'm asking? You have two cameras here. One facing council and one facing the deponent.
He probably doesn't know.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
He doesn't know.
Okay, then this will be an issue before the court.
Okay, would you guys like to order? Either transcript or video?
I
Or both?
I don't think so at this moment, but
Okay.
if we do, I'll let you know ASAP.
Okay, no problem. Anything for you?
No, I'm good.
Nope.
All right. This concludes today's testimony given by Edwin Lloyd Ecclestone III. The time is 12:35 p.m. and we're off the record.
Thank you.
All right, have a good day.